I'll pull them up here in a second, but go ahead.
All right. All right. Shalom, shalom. It's a brother Nasi. Got the brothers from Des Moines with me. All right. So before anything, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Nathan Mashanaka Balas Kum Shasharala, that's give double honor to the elders of Israel, which are the elders of Jemes, who teach well, and Wa Shalom, Babla Bakia Shasharala, is peace and blessing to the elect of Israel. All right, so we basically just want to go into, they got a couple articles that me and the brothers gonna pull up on the screen. We're gonna go into them, man. And this is one, it says June 17, 2021, it says Joe Biden asks Americans to report radicalized friends and families to the government, right? And we know who he's targeting. Right. Ultimately, we know the end game. We know the agenda. We know the plan. Right. And that's why you see the title here that the brother had put up with the love of many shall wax and cold, man. Right. Because they're going to give us over ultimately. And when you go into this word radicalizing, I think it's like it goes into people of like a religious belief, So we know who you're targeting. I got the definition for us. It's a radicalized, it says, hold on, not this one. Let me get this real quick. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get it like this. Here we go. All right, it says radicalization is the process by which an individual or a group comes to adopt increasingly radical views in opposition to a political, social, or religious status, right? So we know what the scriptures say that they seek privately and watch the righteous seek it to slay him, man. But you got it. You can we can get into it.
Real quick, and this is what they're doing. They're radicalizing what the truth. Yeah. All right. Because ultimately that's the end game. Esau's going to use different puppets and shit, different groups, but it's ultimately to lead unto the truth. All right, real quick, this is Matthew 10, which we understand is prophecy. All right, this is the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua at the end of the day. This is Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. What are you talking about right here? Talking about your loved ones and your friends are going to be turning you in, man. Think it not strange when these things happen to you. Your family might be with you now, but when they get incentives to turn you in, all right, when they say, look, these people are a problem, all right, they're radical, they're endangering the community because they don't want to get the turn these people in, man. They're a menace to society.
Yep. And they're offering a ransom.
Mm-hmm. If I can add, I'm gonna just jump up in that chapter that the brother was reading now, Matthew chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 16. It says, Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So in the times that we're coming into, we have to be very circumspect. All right, because the different information that we put out, people are gonna retain that, man. He's not with this and he's not with that. You know what I'm saying? So just being circumspect in these times that we're entering into, man. Like when you first come into the truth, you want to tell everybody that you about this and that and the third, F Esau and this and that and the third, right? But when it comes down to maneuvering in our everyday lives, we got to move more circumspectly, man, because these same individuals that you're talking to, they're the same ones that are going to be delivering you up to the councils, which is going to go into in this chapter. It says, verse 17, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the council. So in the previous verse, it talks about what being wise, right? And then it says, beware of men. Why? Because they're going to be the ones that's delivering up brothers, all right, to these councils, all right, to the government. It says, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in the synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles.
Right. It says, hold on, let me pull it back up. Read that last verse again, Baba Sean.
Yep, it says, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake.
Yep, there you go. It says Joe Biden asked Americans to report radicalized friends family to the government.
That's right. Yep. It says, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you at that same hour what ye shall speak. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai Just like in these lessons, he puts it in our mouth, what to speak and what to say, right? It's going to be the same thing when people are, when brothers are and sisters may get delivered up unto the councils, right? But I'm going to keep reading. It says, for it is, verse 21, and the brother shall deliver up, verse 20, for it is not ye that speak, but the spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. So this lets you know the climate or the atmosphere that that is being cultivated right now, man. An atmosphere of betrayal within households, all right, betrayal of loved ones, man. In the book of 2nd Ezra, I believe it's the 5th chapter, all right, but it talks about friends shall fight against one another like enemies, man. Yep. All right, so people that you might have grown up with and so on and so forth, your boy, your guy, all right, and this time that we're coming into, man, they're gonna be the same ones that betray you and deliver you up to the councils, man.
Yep. Hey, I had a quick account for you, brothers. In Acts 6, because they're going to deliver us up before the synagogues, man. And it's the same thing that happened to Stephen, right? So I'm gonna get into it. This is Acts 6 and verse 8. It says, and Stephen, full of faith and power, did great wonders and miracles among the people, right? It says, then there arose certain of the synagogue, which is called the synagogue of the Libertines. It says the Cyrenians and the Alexandrians, and of them Cecilia in Asia, disputing with Stephen. So Stephen was out there, standing up for the gospel, right? It says, and they were not able to resist the wisdom and the spirit by which he spake, right? Because the brother was going into the words which we speak is of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? So we have to be wise and pay attention to the things that we're speaking to these people, because they're going to be the ones to offer us up. It says, and they were not able to resist the wisdom and the spirit by which he spake. It says, then they suborned men, so they gathered men up, right? It says, which said, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against the Most High. Now they were lying on Stephen, right? And it's going to be the same thing now in this time, man. They're going to mingle with our words. They got actually a thing that they can do now is they can take certain clips. They can take certain clips and edit videos and make it to where you were saying you were going to do certain things. You were going to act in violence, man.
That's right. And even just to add, because that word suborned is pretty much they got paid off. All right. They got bought. All right. So they got a bribe, like, look, here, take this money, go say this and then the third, accuse him, this and that. And that's what they're going to be doing, man. Like we were talking about last night, the article that you had sent me, man, it was pretty much putting out that, they'll pay certain people, all right, just to rat other people out, man,
Yeah.
So that's the atmosphere that's being brewed, all right, in this society. But you got it, bro.
This is verse 12. It says, and they stirred up the people and the elders and the scribes and came upon him and caught him and brought him to the council. You see, going back to what the brother was saying, they're going to deliver you up to these councils and these synagogues. And we know that the council and the things that Esau prescribes is unrighteous, man. But this is prophecy having to be fulfilled. These things, we have to go through these things, right? The Lord warned us and told us that these things were going to come. So that we should be preparing ourselves. We should be prepared within our minds to know, hey, this is what some of us might face, right? It says, and stirred up the people and the elders and the scribes and came upon him and caught him and brought him to the council and set up false witnesses. So he was set up, right? Like the brother was going into. It says, which said, this man ceased not to speak blasphemous words against this holy place and the law. For we have heard him say that Yahushua of Nazareth shall destroy this place and shall change the customs which Moses delivered us, and which the Lord is coming to destroy this place, man. Right? But they were doing what? They were lying on Stephen and making it seem like he was going off, right? For what they say. When you read that article I sent you, it say that to report these people and bring them in for the better cause, making America great. We know the agenda which you're putting and what's going to make this place, like they say, like it said in First Maccabees, Antiochus said that all should be one, right? That same spirit of then is here today, man.
That's right. And even with that, because even with Yahushua, when he said that he had destroyed this this temple, right? He was talking about his body, all right, going into the grave and being raised again, right? But that just shows you that they wanted to take it out of context and what he was speaking about just to use it against him. All right. It talks about how they will pretty much, you have men that will wait for his words, roughly paraphrasing the scriptures. But that's what they do. As soon as you say something, they want to, let me hop on that way. What did you say? The same thing that they do with our apostles. As soon as, what they said, they rape women and this and that and the third and X, Y, and Z. So we have to already expect that these things are going to happen, that they're going to use what we've been saying and what we've been preaching, this gospel against us in any kind of way to stir up the minds of the people against us, man.
Yep. Because that's just touching on what you're saying. The scriptures say that it's one, just paraphrasing, it's one that slippeth in his speech, but not from his heart. So they be ready to jump. They be ready to jump on shit, and it's not even what you perceived it to be, man.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm matter of fact, I'm gonna jump to 7 and 54 because this is to speed up what really happened. We know the death of Stephen is what came. It says when they heard these things, they were cut to the heart. Right. So Stephen was in that mug, going crazy. Right. It says, and they gnashed on him with their teeth. So, you make somebody mad, they gritting their teeth like, ooh, this, you hearing what he's saying? It says, but he being full of the Holy Spirit, looked up steadfast into heaven and saw the glory of the Most High and Yahushua standing on the right hand of the Most High and said, behold, I see the heavens open and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of the Most High. Then they cried out with, it says, then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears and ran upon him with one accord. And they basically overthrew him, man. Right. And basically put him to death for this gospel's sake, man. And that's what the scriptures tell you in the book of Romans, that it say, just rough paraphrasing, to say that they shall be enemies for your sakes, right? To basically let you know that what you're doing, what is right. So these things must come. So the brothers was going into the division and them giving us over and giving us up. That is to come, man. And we're watching it be played out, and Esau coming out with all of these articles. We know the target. We know who you're aiming at, man. What you brothers got it?
I got this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, because this is what Esau setting the stage for, man. This is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So that great wrath that he's coming down with is ultimately leading up to what? The hour of temptation. All these things he's throwing out in people's faces. The Vicky, all right, putting a stranglehold on people, all right, making it harder and harder for you to continue in society, making it harder for you to get provisions, all right. And the next thing is the monetary fund. He's just going to flip it, make it all digital. So it's all leading to what the apostles of Great Millstone have been telling you for decades. All right. And then the people that are going to be worshiping the beast, okay, they're going to want to be turning against you because they want to return to society or return to normal. They want everything to go back to normal. And the way the media is presenting it is you're standing in the way from them going back to normal because you're not playing ball with Esau's bullshit. So this is causing division. Not only really what the Lord is doing, he's separating the elect from everybody else, and then everybody else is getting divided within themselves. So they're completely through. But that's what Esau's going to do, man. He's that great wrath is going to consist of division, chaos, because that's how he does. Divide and conquer. So he's about to come and just come swinging the sword, man.
Yeah,
start running through people. Go ahead.
I have one for you, brothers. First Maccabees 1, and I'm gonna start at just 41 to get to the point. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom, right, that all should be one people, right? And we know the scriptures tell you what and so Sirach 10 and 1, it says, so is the king, so is the people. The order which he pushed, the people of the land is going to follow therein. So it was the same thing here, right? So it said that all will be one people. And the brother was going into the love potion, and then when they come down with that MOB, that whole new system that they're trying to push on the people, man. I wouldn't watch the movie y'all brother watch Black Widow?
Nah, I ain't seen that one.
Well, is the movie Black Widow. Within the movie, I don't really want to spoil it for nobody, but in the movie, it was Esau basically taking control and taking the minds of people, man, right? So the only way that they could get out of the sedation under the control of Esau was a certain chemical would have to be splashed in their face. But the point is that when he showed on the screen, he showed he had billions of people under his control, man. Right? And that's what Esau wants, man. And that's why it says wrote that his whole kingdom should be one people under one consent, serving one power, right? It says, and everyone should leave his law. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Shabbat, man. And this is the same thing that is going on today in this time, man. Yeah, that was it on that.
Yeah, and even when you read in those later accounts in the book of Maccabees, you had the Israelites that were siding with the heathen, and they were actually delivering Jacob to death, man. So it's going to be the same exact things, man. Hey, even when you go into 70 AD, when you read in the Josephus, you had leaders that the Roman Empire were paying off, all right, to lead Jake to the temple. Now, when you read in the prophecy, Yahushua had told them that, look, when you see Jerusalem compassed about with cities, flee to the mountains, right? But you had false prophets that were being paid off to tell them to go to the temple. So then when the Roman Empire came in, it was easy for them to kill all them Jakes in the temple during 70 AD, man. Mm-hmm. So it's letting you know that there's going to be leaders that are being paid off, all right, to lead Jake to the slaughter, man, which is what's happening already before our eyes. But it's going to be revealed that these guys is actually in ties with the government to do these things.
Yeah, man. These celebrities, athletes, you see them on the television now talking about go get Vickied up.
Right.
All right. Soon they're gonna be telling you, hey, if you got evicted, come to the local FEMA camp. They got a warm bed for you and a hot plate.
Right.
All you gotta do is take the Vicky.
Yep. They gonna starve the people out, man. Mm-hmm. They gonna deprive the first time they had the lockdown and the shutdown, people was losing their minds, man. They couldn't wait to let out free. So just think to yourself, you think that, because when you read in this article, it said that they were trying to set up a more broader way for them to basically catch, so say, extremists, right? So by people not wanting to go into a lockdown or go into a shutdown and be shut in their homes and lose their jobs, they're going to be giving people over. If you're not, it's going to come to the point where if you're not conforming to the ways of the society, you're a threat. So by you being a threat, they're going to come against you. So look on social media today. You can't speak against the alphabetical order that they put. I don't really want to, but you get me out?
Yeah, no, I can hear you. I was just telling the point that you made is what's mentioned in the article.
Oh, Con. You got it. You can read it.
With the social media, you can go back to that one, Papa. Okay. Right, because even later down in this article, and it's going to lead into that next article as well. Yeah, it's about. Let me see. I got it right here, actually, on my phone, so I can know which part it is. Yeah,
while the brother's getting at, you really can't. It's a problem to be normal now. If you're normal, you're a threat. You're a problem. You can't look at what they did to especially these so say celebrities. They not letting them slide, man. They on their backs, got them apologizing and things like that. They're forcing this. They're forcing everything on the minds of children, man. They're forcing everything on the masses of people. It's not okay to be straight, and it's not okay to. The scriptures tell you that in the book of Psalms, it tell you that they speak lying words against the righteous. Just paraphrasing it, it say that and seeking to overthrow him, even when the righteous speak it right. So even when we're right, even though we're speaking and telling things that are right, they're going to come up against us, man. And this is why the Lord said in Hosea 4:1, I have a controversy against the land and the people, man, because there is no knowledge. There is no truth. There is no truth, and there is no knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai in the land, man. You got it out.
Hey, that's it. I'm gonna go and read a part of this article. Just on the point you mentioned, it says, in addition to seeking tips from American citizens to turn in their friends and loved ones, the official also said that the government will be working with tech companies to increase surveillance on alleged radicals. Any particular tech company often knows its platform well very well, but the government sees things actually threats of violence across platforms. The official claim with no evidence, they see the relationship between online recruitments, radicalization, and violence in the physical world. And then even it's another part in this article, but it pretty much says where Biden was going to get together with tech companies, all right, to get their surveillance, to get all their information so that they can turn in these individuals. But that's what you mentioned. Pretty much going into, you can't even say anything on social media. Hey, now it comes if you post anything on Instagram that's in relation to the Crown Royal, right? They'll put a disclaimer underneath it and say that if you want accurate information, pretty much for the disease, so to speak, then you have to go to this link that takes you to the CDC. All right, the CDC government website. So it's like, you know, that there's a great surveillance, big surveillance on these things, and they're going to start gathering people up, man. But it says, to this end, the official said that the Department of Homeland Security will begin implementing digital literacy and digital fitness programs, enabling the agency to detect malicious content online that bad actors deliberately try to disseminate. But the point being is that they're pairing up with these tech companies, man. All right, so that's on all scales, man. All right, so you got people that post different things on social media. They're now a target. All right.
Yep.
We already know, of course, on YouTube. All right, the brother, did a lesson in the middle of the lesson. All right, they cut down, they cut the lesson, man. All right, and strike one of the lessons that he did earlier. So it's all coming to see prophecies just popping, man, because that's going to lead to the famine of the word.
Yep.
All right, we're seeing that the persecution is arising. All these things are according to prophecy. What you got?
Yeah. And even when you like CIA say that they're going to work with these different tech companies, the article that we was talking about, I think last night we were talking about this article, the AURS, it's not a big program yet, but it's starting off small. But to show you that Esau is all in tune with each other, because the owner of the software, the tech company name is David Alexander, and he's running for governor, right? And that's something that he's trying to farm up, right? And it coexists with the things that Joe Biden is basically prescribing, man, for you to seek after your loved ones, and basically, and that's why I say, like the title, the love of many shall wax cold, man.
Yeah, I got the verse here, and then I want to go into a word. Matthew 24:12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. The word there for iniquity is anomia, and it says the condition of without law, being ignorant of it because of violating it, contempt and violation of law, iniquity, wickedness. So we're headed down. They're decriminalizing laws. All right, you in San Francisco, it's legal to shoplift. You got nigga riding into stores with bicycles, leaving out with a shitload of stuff. Seen another article where people are selling all the shit they stealing at the flea market. Then you got decriminalization of prostitution. So they're going to continue to decriminalize things because they're defunding police, and eventually the sedition of men. All right, the things people are going to continue to rise up against governments, more chaos, more riots, more protests, and so that's why I said the condition of without law, because you seen the movie The Purge. That's what they're literally doing that. So what? People are going to take things to their own hands. If there's incentives to get more money or food, people are going to use that opportunity to do whatever, sell whoever they got to sell out to eat. Because why? Because the love of many shall wax cold.
Yeah.
That's right. We can go into that other article.
Let me pull it up.
I had a precept for you, brothers, real quick. This is Luke 21:15. It says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. So this truth is undeniable, right? Because look, the proof is in the pudding, like we like to say, man. It's right here in front of the screen, man. You have been told and you have been warned that these things were going to come, right? Now, verse 16, it says, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you they shall cause to be put to death, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, man. You see, and this is what we're looking at on the screen. But throughout it all, watch what the Lord said. It says, but there shall not a hair of your head perish, and your patience possess ye your soul. So we know that the Lord is going to be protecting us and guiding us throughout all of this chaos in the streets, man. You got it, Doc. That was it on that.
That's right. That's right. And I'll go ahead and read some of this. So this is an article from RT entitled, "Are Your Friends Becoming Extremists? Facebook asks users as it tests bizarre new feature to combat harmful content." And I'll go ahead and read what the actual Facebook post was. It says, "Are you concerned that someone you know is becoming an extremist? We care about preventing extremism on Facebook. Others in your situation have received confidential support." And then you see right there, it says get support and so on and so forth, right? Now, as you see right now, anything now what's becoming extremism is anybody that's speaking against what the CDC is talking about, man. All right, any medical guidelines or whatnot that they're pushing out, and if you're speaking against that, or even if you're just an advocate for natural home remedies and so on and so forth, right? You are being looked at as an extremist because they're saying that this disease is extreme. So if you're causing people to get information that could cause them not to go get injected, right? You're looked at as an extremist. So this ties into the medical situation that's going on now. This is going to lead into the MOTB. All right. Anything that's being spoken against the government is considered extremist, man. So you are a target.
It says right here, Facebook is testing a new prompt that asks users if they know anyone flirting with a violent ideology. So if you just flirting with it,
right.
Turn these niggas in.
Right. You having a conversation like just, man, you can see it right now. People just having a conversation at work, man. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, man, did you get injected? Oh man, no, I'm not getting that, man. I don't believe in that. Mm-hmm. Oh, something's alerting. Bells are ringing. Now the people around you is looking at you like, oh, okay, all right. Let's see, you know, John. All right, John's not with that. John's an extremist. You know, see, these are the different thoughts, and it sounds crazy to people right now. But just like it sounded crazy when brothers was talking about martial law, and it sounded crazy when we were telling you that these things were going to be mandated. All right. That's why it says, then shall it be known who are my chosen. See, all these things are going to come to pass according to the holy scriptures, man.
Yeah. I had a precept going into what you were saying real quick. It say, this is Isaiah 59:15. It says, yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey, and the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. You see, so it's the main point was what that he that departed from wickedness maketh himself a prey. Your life is going to be sucking after, man. You are like the brother saying, you are the issue. So guess what? You don't want to be partakers of this wickedness. Guess what? You got to die. It's either get down or lay down, man. And that's why it tells you in 1 Peter, man, it said what they think is strange that you run out to the same exits of rod. They think it's crazy. So by them thinking it's strange, that's giving them even more ammunition to seek after you, man. You got it out.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Hey, real quick, this is the proof that this is just a government tactic. Okay, what's going on right now? Fear all day long. All you hear about is fear. This is online etymology. The word terrorism. It says 1795 government intimidation during the reign of terror in France. Go down. It says great fear, dread, alarm, panic, object of fear, cause of alarm, terrible news, to tremble. So what are they doing? They're pushing out this fear, great fear, cause of alarm, panic, for what? Government intimidation, to push their agenda. Okay, yeah. This is terrorism. This is literally terrorism, not Al Qaeda. Right. Them niggas ain't terrorists. Your government's the terrorist.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even I had the Spirit had me do a lesson on I think it might have been out in Tennessee, or it might have been out in Tennessee where they were filming people, women or volunteers or whatever, going door to door asking individuals if they received their injection, right? Mm-hmm. And then they were asking, have you received it? Well, you can come and get it right now. But then the whole time it's a lady talking to him at the door. But then you got a military troop right behind them, just chilling, stiff as hell. Like,
and if all they got to do is give you a quick little shot, why they got to take you somewhere?
Right.
First of all.
Right.
Yeah.
We had Governor Cuomo out of New York. He was like, man, we have to go door to door, and we need people to get injected, man. And if they aren't getting injected, we're going to have to go to their door, get them in a car, take them somewhere so that they can get injected. He literally said that, man. Yep. So it's like going down. They're getting to the point where it's like, look, we aren't trying to negotiate. We're tired of being nice. We're going to have to physically get you injected, man.
He's coming down with a great rash.
That's right.
Let me finish this on terrorism. It says a general sense of systematic use of terror as a policy. Then the scripture say through his policy he killeth many.
Yep. It was also say he framed mischief by law.
By law. Yeah.
That's terrorism.
That's it.
They even had a governor somewhere in one of the third world countries or whatnot. He was like, the people that don't want to take it, he say he gonna come like the brother saying they gonna go door to door. He said he gonna come personally, jack Jacob, and if they don't want to take it, he gonna shove it up their anals, man.
Dang.
Yeah.
So that just shows, man, that this devil, you know, he's really want to push his agenda fast because what he know he got a short time, man.
Yeah, that's it, man. Hey, this coming down to the wire, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming down to the wire. See, things aren't going to be as comfortable as they have been. All right, people are going to be forced to make a decision. All right, Are you in this system? Are you going to bow down to the image of the beast or not? That's what it's coming down to. And like it says in the book of Romans, the 11th chapter, it also says in the book of Kings, how the Lord has 7,000 men which would not bow down the knee to Baal, meaning that they won't worship this system or this beast. So that's why we have to be in the mindset and preparing our people's minds to resist, right?
Yeah.
In the book of Hebrews, the 12th chapter says, look into, I'm gonna just grab it real quick so I don't misquote it. All right, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and I'm gonna start probably around like verse 3. It says, this is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 3. It says, for consider him, speaking of Yahushua, that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest you be weary and faint in your mind. So consider what Yahushua had to suffer. Consider what he went through. All right, it says, ye are not greater, a servant is not greater than his Lord, man. They persecute Yahushua, they're going to persecute us, right? Mm-hmm. But this is the point. It says, ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. All right, so, we've gone through different trials and tribulations in this walk, but it's going to intensify. So we have to look at Yahushua, all right, the mindset that he had as he was going through his temptations, all right, so that we can be in the mindset to endure what's to come, man. It says, he that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. That word endure means to be made hard. All right, so the things that we're going through is hardening us up so that we can resist, all right, and stand upon these words and continue to believe in Yahweh Shah through the end, man.
Yep. And that's why we don't neglect pain, because what all it does is make you stronger. You go through these trials and tribulations, all it does is increase. It's like a video game, like I like to always bring out. You know, you got a certain character that you're building up. And yeah, he gonna get wounds, he gonna get bruises. He out there fighting, man. And with that fighting, he upgrade his shit. His shield upgrades, his sword upgrades, his armory upgrades, his helmet upgrades. And that's what we're doing through the spirit right now, man. That's why the scriptures say in Ephesians, put ye on the armor of Yahweh Shah, right? So you can withstand the fiery darts, man. Right? And piggybacking off what the brother was saying, man, it tells you that for we seen the ending of our Lord and how he sitteth on the right hand side of the Heavenly Father, man. So we seen what I think it say the integrity or the patience of Job. Yeah, I think it's either integrity or patience. Yeah, I think so. It's
Job. Yeah.
Yeah, the patience of Job, and we know that the things that Job received on the hands of the Lord for basically being holding on to his integrity and keeping his faith in the Lord, man. You have some more on that out?
Nah, but I got one real quick, if I may.
You got it out.
This is Philippians chapter 2 and verse 8. It says, and being found and fashioned as a man, he humbled himself, speaking of Yahushua, became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. So Yahushua, he endured unto the end. All right. Yeah. The scripture says in Sirach 4:28, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. So this has to be our mentality, man. And it says, wherefore, so because he was obedient unto death, wherefore the Most High also hath highly exalted him and given him a name which is above every name. So if we are obedient unto death, or obedient to the throughout these things, right? Yahushua is going to highly exalt us. We're going to be sitting on the right hand of Yahushua in his throne, as it is written in the book of Revelation, man. All right, you will sit with my throne as he is set down at the Father, at the right hand of the Father, roughly paraphrasing.
And that's a beautiful point that you just made too, because it said he humbled himself, right? And humbleness also goes into humiliation, man. Right. And when you look into that word humiliation, it actually shows an image of someone being humiliated in front of the masses of people, which it went into with our Lord and Savior. Right. Because the scriptures tell you in the book of Acts 8, it goes into how he went before as dumb as a lamb. Right. He didn't say nothing. But it said in his humiliation, his judgment was taken away. So he committed himself unto death, man, like you said, man. And that humiliation goes to being humble. Humiliation comes before a human, or comes before a person, I'm gonna say, when they know that they're superior and they're over the person that's making them a base, man. So Yahweh Shai endured this for our sakes, and we're going to do the same thing. So I had a precept for you in Matthew 26:14, because you went into basically how the same thing Yahweh Shai went through, we're going to have to go through that persecution, man. Right? So Yahweh Shai, one thing by Yahweh Shai was that what? He was betrayed. The Lord is not going to tell us to suffer these things and go through these things if he didn't do it himself. Right? It says, then, this is Matthew 26:14. It says, then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests and said unto them, what will ye give me, and I will deliver him unto you? So he sold Yahusha out, right? It says, and they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. So this was an agreement that they came into, man, right? They gave him 30, what it say? 30 pieces of silver. It says, and for that time he sought opportunity to betray him. So he took money, right? And it's the same thing that we're going into, man. All they're doing is crucifying by us having the spirit Yahweh Shai on us. In these times, all of this is history repeating itself, man. That spirit of Judas is going to arise in the earth, man. And they're going to betray us for money. And the scriptures tell you in Sirach, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Sirach 7, where it say what trade not, it said trade not a good friend for silver and gold, man. Mm-hmm. And that's what these people are going to do, because in the article that we was talking about, it said they're offering people a $2,500 jackpot, man. And you can go on this website and turn in as many people as you want. Now imagine when it's a lockdown, it's a famine, it's really no jobs like that, and people struggling to pay their bills, man. People turning your ass in, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, the scripture says if they do this thing in a green tree, what shall they do in the dry? So people are willing to do these things while things are still accessible, while they still have their necessities and needs. How much more when those things are stripped away, just like you explained.
That's why I said because of the lack of bread, you know.
Yeah,
the people are going to be invading one another, bashing each other over the heads, turning each other in. You know, somebody might down the block might have a lot of provisions that they've been preparing, and so what? Homeboy's gonna turn you in and tell them that you ain't got the Vicky.
Right.
Yep.
Because it's gonna be when people are hungry, everything goes out the window, man. Because America, especially Americans, they're accustomed to eat every couple hours, man.
You know, America, like you were saying, they're accustomed to eating every hour. Jake eat 5 to 6 times a day. Mm-hmm. So when it come to you probably having to bow down, because the scripture tell you in the book of Ezekiel that men shall eat their bread in measure. I think it said they shall eat bread with measure or something like that. But you're gonna, people are gonna, by them having to do that, they're gonna lose their minds, man. And that's why I tell you in the book of Isaiah 8:21, it said, matter of fact, I'm gonna get it real quick. This is Isaiah 8 and 20. Salakia, not 21, 22. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read 21 too. It says, and they shall pass through it, hardly be stead and hungry. It says, and it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their God and look upward, man. So that goes into the scriptures where it say that they will not regard their kings and their princes, right? It says, and they shall look unto the earth and behold trouble and darkness, dimness of, and all of this is going to come before them just by being hungry, because that shit starts to attack your mind, man. Right? If you don't eat for long periods of time, your mind start telling you, man, everything start looking like a meal to you.
Right. And just to add, because even in that scripture, when it says they shall fret themselves, I've looked it up before, and it means to be angry. Right.
Yep.
So, and that's what people talk about, man. They get hangry. They're like, man, I'm hangry.
Snickers commercial.
Right. They get hangry. What? So what? Because they're hungry, they get upset. They get angry. Like, man, I need some food. But what? It has an effect on their mind, man. So it's the same thing. They're gonna be angry, pissed off, right? Because that scripture said, and they shall pass through it, hardly be stead, meaning what? They're distressed, all right, because support, right? It says, and hungry, and it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves, be angry, and curse their king and their God, and look upward, man. So they're gonna be out there with no hope, man. Distress.
No hope.
What you got, Mac, bro?
Yep, and watch what it says. The point I wanted to make also was it says darkness, dimness of anguish, and that anguish goes into, like we was going into, your mind, right? They're gonna be so agonized in their mind, and it says, and they shall be driven to darkness, because it's gonna be nothing but darkness out here. So by them being driven into darkness and having this agonizing spirit within themselves, they're gonna lose their minds, and that's what's gonna cause people to be going out here in a frenzy and going crazy, man. Yeah. But that was it on that.
I got Lamentations 4:9 says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through for the want of the fruits of the field. So when these people are starving to death, all right, that's a horrible way to die. It's better to die by the sword. Why? Because like the brother's going into the anguish, your mind starts playing tricks on you. All right, I think within 48 hours of the typical diet of American, within 48 hours, they begin to hallucinate.
Yeah. Ooh. Now think about
apparitions, man.
Now think about you being alone.
Mm-hmm.
You being by your matter of fact, I do you one better. Y'all I know y'all watched this movie. It's a cartoon called damn, what's that shit called? It was with like the lions and all the animals and shit. Madagascar. Yeah. And he started hallucinating everybody with steaks, bro. Yeah. So people are gonna actually be eating their children, man.
Yep.
This is what's going to come, because when you actually start dying of starvation and you're starving yourself out, your body starts decaying and eating itself, man. So that's why that's the worst way to go out, man, of starvation. So if it's if it's starvation and people having children, they're going to, by any means necessary, they're going to find a way to get what they need to get. I don't care how long we've been friends. That's how people are going to react in their minds. I don't care how long I've been knowing you. I don't care how long you've been my neighbor, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is. We got to eat. It's either we going to eat what you got in your pantry or we going to cook you. And that's going to be the minds of the masses of people, man.
Yep. Yeah, all your neighbors, your buddy Tom that you grill out with on Saturdays, he going to come for your food, man. When he run out of food and you've been showing him all your canned goods and shit, he knows exactly where to go.
I got two quick ones if I may.
Okay.
This is second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So that's what? No goods in the stores, right? No food in the grocery store, and this and that and the third, right?
No food in warehouses.
That's right.
All right, no farms. All that shit's because look, it's already, see, it just haven't hit your kitchen table yet. Because the production is not what it used to be. Right. All them droughts, them wildfires, all these natural events that have been taking out the crops, the livestock. All right, this pandemic that was taking place, they had to kill all these cows and shit. See, when they freeze food for a long time, so what you eat now have been dead for a long time. But when the dirt starts to catch up, that's when you're gonna see all these things are unsown. The storehouse is empty. They're arranging shit in the stores just to make you think that there's a whole supply of things.
Yeah.
It's push everything to the front.
Nothing in the back.
Yep.
It says, verse 23, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Verse 24, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. So during that time, where the sown places are unsown, right? That's when friends are going to start fighting against one another like enemies, man. It says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, so the water's going to get cut off, man. Mm-hmm. It says, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So when these things happen, that's when it's going to really start hitting, man. When that famine gets kicking, right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 18. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Right.
So that's going to be the main catalyst.
God, so when people are hungry, man, they're not gonna have pity on you. Please don't kill me. I got kids. They're gonna kill you and your kids.
Right.
You know,
I got kids.
Yeah, exactly. For one loaf of bread, people are gonna be dying over, man.
Yeah.
A piece of bologna, people are gonna kill each other for, man.
Right.
And that's what having knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is gonna be very detrimental to your salvation. Because if not, you're gonna be killing people over bologna too, or and then end up eating pork or something.
Right.
Because what you lack faith, you don't believe that the Lord is gonna provide for you. So you're gonna be out there looting with everybody else and get caught up in that, man.
Yeah.
And that's
no, you got it.
No, I was gonna say, and that's why I watched a lesson that the apostle had did, and he was basically going in on prayer, right? And how it's essential and very important to be praying now more than ever in these times, because he said one thing that stuck out to me was if you don't pray, you don't have faith, you don't really believe, right? So like the brother was saying, hey, if you're not praying now, it's a saying, if you don't talk to the Lord now, you're not a familiar voice. He don't know you. That's why I say, I have never knew thee, right? So if you're not praying and getting familiar with prayer now, don't think that you're just finna up and just have faith and just be praying now and just expecting shit to come your way. No, like the brother was saying, you're going to be out there in the streets looting and going crazy and possibly be killed by one of these assholes in the streets, man, because you lack faith, man. But you got it out.
This is Jeremiah 19:9. It says, and I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat everyone the flesh of his hand. I'm sorry, it says, they shall eat everyone the flesh of his friend in the siege and straightness, but with their enemies, and they that seek their lives shall straighten them.
That sounds like zombies to me.
Yeah.
Eating each other, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna be losing your shit. People are gonna start eating each other.
That's right. And it says in the siege and the straightness. Now you look at that term siege. All right, it's when the military surrounds the city to cut off the resources to force them that are within to submit, right? And that's what's happening. See, back then you had actual cities with walls around it, right? But now in this time period, you don't have to do that to force a siege, man. All Esau has to do is cut off the trucks from coming in, all right? Or pretty much he already controls the resources, but put it into the hand of the military to where they're going to be distributing it, man. And that goes to that Ezekiel that you had quoted, where it says that they shall eat their bread by measure and by weight. We even looked that up in other translations. It says that they're going to eat their food ration. So who's going to be in control of distributing the food? It's going to be the military. All right. Well, we're going to control the food. All right. And then they're going to give food to who? To people that they seen. To people that got the injected, right? They're gonna force people to submit just by them having control over the food. So when the famine really hits, that's when shit is gonna really get chaotic.
Yeah,
it's gonna really get cracking. Is when that famine hits, man.
Yeah, that's when you're gonna see people folding up like lawn chairs to go get that shit, man.
Yeah, because that shit is like a torture mechanism. You know, the people, if you think about it, torture is basically them afflicting pain upon you physically or mentally. You know. And in the sense of the Americans, since they are already spoiled you, they're going to mentally attack you because the minds of these people are weak. They're GMOs and all the food. You can't think, right? So with the like it was going into the intimidation, you know, with the torture mechanism that they're going to do, they're mentally going to torture the people and cause them to do as they will. But if you're not built up on your most holy faith, which we know that the masses of people are not, you're game.
Yeah.
I think they had some more in that article too.
I clicked out of it.
Which one? The Facebook one or
the Biden, radicalized friends and family. Let me see where it's at. I had read it. I had skimmed through it. It's gonna say basically to seek after so-called conspiracy theorists.
Okay.
Physical World Department. Let me see. And what is it? I gotta find that. Homeland Security Responsibilities. Let me scroll up. Maybe. Oh, kind of got it. It's gonna say Biden began his presidency with a stark warning in an inauguration speech,
Con, we just pulling it back up. So,
Okay. All right.
Let me see. Let me see. What I think that was it.
Come on. There you go.
and you said it said inauguration because I can just search it real quick.
Yeah.
All right, kind of. Let me see. I think this is it. I might start like reading where it say y'all see the Biden is on the roll little banner thing, or is it different for y'all?
What
Let me
is
see.
it?
Scroll down to like the bottom.
These declaration.
Oh damn, y'all's different than mine. I'm on this is what this is. Brit Brat. I think y'all on a different one. Yeah, y'all on Tennessee Star. I think Tennessee Star gonna say it too.
Right. Click it right there.
Oh, very bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I can.
I think it's in y'all's Salakia. Let me go on my phone and look.
Click on Brit Brat though.
Okay, let me. I'm gonna get on y'all's real quick because I believe I seen it in this one. If it's not in this article, and it's in the other one.
Yeah, you could find it in the Brit Brat one since we got it up already.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to look in the Brit Brat one. It's gonna mention conspiracy.
Presidency with the Stark Warner and his inauguration speech. That's what you had read.
Yeah, I think that's the one I had read.
Okay, Con. Yeah,
Salakia, white supremacy, domestic terrorism. Nah, that's not it. Yeah, that's it. Keep going. It's gonna say then Biden I'm gonna read it. It says the Biden administration said it would also work with large technology companies on increased information sharing to help combat radicalization. And I think that's what I had went into when it goes into conspiracy theories and stuff like that.
Yep. That's what all them algorithms are for, man. Esau got
Yep.
to catch keywords, all right, which they deem radicalist or extremist, violent. All right.
Ooh.
Conspiracies, all that.
It says, I think we read this where it say that they know their companies very well. Yeah, I think we actually got into it. Well, that was really it on that article that I had. Y'all wanted me to read a little bit off of this AURS article scan where it goes to David Alexander where he's trying to start up a new tech company basically.
Yeah, you read a little bit of that and then we'll close out. All
right, Con. So this is the AR the ERS is what they say, how they say it. It says secular critique the political candidate David Alexander. It says in a let me see about. All right, that's it. It says David is hoping to point out how dangerously close our society is to having a company like ERS exist. So this is something that he's trying to basically push off and cause to exist, right? He's trying to basically make it mainstream. It says in a world where friends and family and neighbors are reporting each other to authority. So this is soon to come to reality, and they're basically putting it out in the faces of the people, man. It's popping up for y'all or nah?
Yeah, we're pulling it up here.
I wonder if I can. Let me see.
Yeah, we'll just have to type in the full thing.
All right, con.
Lower up. I need to take that in.
Just say computer moving slow and
catching up and all
that shit. Yeah, because you have to literally type it in and URSonline.com.
Yeah, that's what I had to do too to find it on my computer. I had to type it. I had to type the whole HTTP.
That's right here.
Yeah, go right there.
Yeah. There it is.
Yep, and you just go to about. It's what you had sent me out. What you had screenshot and sent to me.
Yeah, because when you actually go into this, like he did this as a satire, because like you said, it's the governor, but he was doing this just to highlight that this is the point that we're getting to. because like the brother had mentioned earlier, that he is a governor, but he's a governor that's against the mandatory injection and everything like that.
Yeah.
Right. But he was putting this out to show you, like, look, this is the point that we're gonna actually get to. You know, like when you read further down into it, because I was reading into it, I was like, oh, okay, so he's not actually a part of it. He's a governor that's against it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But you got it out.
Yeah, you can go down. You can go down to it. I'll scroll down some more. It's gonna be like kind of discolored, like kind of clear on some stuff. It's gonna be right there. That right there. So the point I had wanted to read was that second passage right there where it says David is hoping to point out. So like the brother was saying, he's not really with it, he's not for it, but he's showing you and pointing it out. He even got on there is a section where it says basically file a report, and in that file a report section, it says put your name, your email, and your phone number, and it asks you to give your neighbors or your family members address, state, and basically zip code of where they are. So that's basically going into what we was talking about. You know, families are basically going to, and neighbors are basically going to turn you over, and that's why the scriptures say that what he that slayeth you, but thinking that he doeth the godly service, man.
Right. Yep, that's
yeah,
it.
That was it.
Yeah, anything else?
Nah, I ain't really. That was it. I ain't really got nothing.
Well, shoot, we'll go ahead and close out, man. Lord's what I was edifying. We're gonna give all praises to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
The honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone who will well, peace and salutations to the hope of the elect, pushing out this word and all sincerity and the truth. With that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.